What's going on, guys? Bank Rubber Games here with more ADACA Zone Patrol. Last episode when we left off, it was a really cool episode. We were really productive. We finished covering everything in the Pines area that I want to show for now. We have got a little bit left to do, but I'll cover that later on. So I highly recommend going back and watching last episode if you haven't seen it, because like I said, it was very productive. And we also showed off quite a few cool, creepy areas. And also means that everything will make sense this episode as part of the guide. Something that I do want to point out before I carry on with this episode is last episode was the end of sort of my recording session, and I did show how to get into this sealed bunker. I did think it stayed open after you went into it, but it does look like in between play sessions it does lock up. But I did obviously show last episode how to get into it. But for now, all we're going to be doing is from the Pines heading into the Blue Caverns. Then we've got a little bit to do in the Catacombs. Little bit of a run over there, but not too bad. I did also go back into the Stag bunker to pick up the pulse rifle, just because it is a very powerful weapon. Obviously got a pistol, and then we've got our good old faithful flak rifle. And we have got quite a few artifacts saved up, so I am going to look to buy some of the other weapons available to us for the zone patrol mode. So here is the entrance to the Blue Caverns. I did show this off last episode, but it is near the plane wreckage. And we have sort of seen this, but I didn't show it off all that well. This sort of creepy area within Blue Caverns where all the trees growing. As the entrance to the Pines. You can only really come one way out of that area though. And we're just going to want to head southeast. And we're looking for that big long elevator. Just double checking we are going the right way. So once we get into the Catacombs, we just want to follow the black and yellow cable back to the main tunnel. And then when we get to the main tunnel, going to want to head down to the bottom floor where all the water is. Carry on east to the crossroads. Turning south. So you see that container up the stairs, and then follow it around southeast. And there'll be volts 01 to 09. And if you remember a while ago, we had a mission given to us by an entity we found in the Blue Caverns. And this should be the ending of that mission. Very, very creepy. I'm still not sure whether this is a good thing or bad thing, but we have heard about integrating the sort of psychic conduits into this monolith in a couple of data entries on computers, and I assume this is what they're talking about. Basically looks like it's a forced collection of consciousness put into like something physical. All very, very creepy. Again, there is this crystal here, and this is something that I haven't been able to find anything about online or around the zone patrol, so if you know anything about it, let me know down in the comments below, and then I can include it as part of the guide. As far as I'm aware, that is everything we can do in the Vault Complex. So now we just need to head back into the Blue Caverns, and then we'll be entering a new area. So we're just going to head back the way we came. Into the main tunnel again. Again, there are some supplies here that we can pick up, along with a ammo upgrade if you haven't purchased it. Am I going the wrong way? I think I am. So again, we head towards junction 6, then just turn left, heading south following the black and yellow cable. There's a teleporter around. Try and make our way out of here so we can avoid that. Then the entrance to the conduit is directly opposite where we come in from the catacombs. Quite an easy one to find. You can call the elevator back up if you wish. course, the game's not going to be very nice to us and spawning a bunch of enemies. I find the easiest way to get into the conduit in the blue caverns is to look out for the tower, where the snipers were the first time we spawn in the area. And then just head along the main bridge. And then turning right, going upstairs through this door here. Looking for the westernmost point of the map. And the conduit is quite difficult. Well, it seems like quite a difficult area to navigate, but there isn't actually too much here for us to get. Well, there is a secret area we need to look out for. First thing you want to do though is from the entrance take the first left. Then in this red train car you'll see there is a artifact hidden. Then we're just going to want to head west. And then head north. And there should be an artifact hidden at the end of this corridor. That is being flung around by an entity. It's really messing us up. So I think this is... That was very similar to one of the entities that is often found in the Haunt, the ending room of the Haunt, near the entrance to the Priory, I think it is, and the Catacombs. There's an entity in there in the campaign, but yeah, they did fling around the artifact that's normally just hidden on the end there. So now we're just going to follow the tunnel round to the right, but before we do that we are going to come to this health station, refill some of our health. There is a heavy assault rifle here along with some ammo at all times. It looks like the game's been quite nice to us. Just going to get another health pickup here from the station. Oh, don't need to. That exit goes into the Pines. So this is where you would enter the conduit if you came in from the Pines. And you can see this is where we entered from the Blue Caverns. Looks like Crow's joining us in the area as well. Very nice of him. Looks like we walked through an anomaly there that I didn't realise, but and that did take us out. So we did just get respawned at the entrance to the Pines. We're just going to follow the main tunnel southwest until we get to this junction here. And we're going to head down the section labelled 18. And when we get near the end, there's this door to a secret dungeon, Tunnel 19. So yeah, we heard about this from a terminal in the Stone Tree place, which you would have seen last episode, talking about the monolith and how a sample of it got taken to Tunnel 18. And this is that secret dungeon. And this one is quite creepy. From what I remember, it's actually quite linear. But as you spawn in, a bunch of enemies do spawn in. Clown closet. And start heading their way through the map. Spawn in that room there. And there's not much for us to actually get here at the moment. But we are going to be heading through this area into another one, which is very, very cool. It's the main tunnel there. Nothing hidden there. I didn't actually realise there was this artifact here, so I have actually missed one. Let's find that. Just hidden on the train. And in this catwalk. That is a lot of dudes. See, there's some enemies in this next area, and these guys will be a bit tougher. Clown closet up here. Another way down. Both those stairs just lead down into this big area. But in this big room here, we head over south, and in amongst these train cars, these red train cars, there is another artifact for us. Switch to the machine pistol just because we haven't seen it all that often. Did not sound good. But in this sort of control room, there is an artifact here, and then I'm just being quick here to avoid that anomaly. There is this button here that we can press to deactivate that force field. Another entity there out to get us. And that will lead us to NRC 001. And yeah, this is a really, really cool location, this. It hints at a lot of things that have gone on around the zone as well, which is really, really cool. Not much we can do down here. So we do need to look at these enemies here. They're a bit tougher. They tend to have like fire-based weapons. Very, very creepy. Again, it's another quite linear area at the moment. Health machine there if you need it. Following it around to the science lab. There's all these different things in test tubes. Another slime worm thing. skeleton enemies along with this. And this strange thing here will occasionally spout dialogue. Some of it seems quite random. Some of it does seem relevant to other things that are going on in the zone and some of the mysteries, and can give you a couple of clues or hints as to where to look for a couple of things. But I haven't found anything else to do with this thing in the tube. So let me know down in the comments below if you know if you can do something with them, because they're quite mysterious as it stands. But in the southeast corner of the room, there is that artifact hidden. You can see some of the dialogue does repeat there. Again, being pointed in this direction. This symbol again, and that is something we'll explore quite soon. This way there isn't anything we can do here. The door is shut. Sound like there's some enemies the other side of the door though. Definite. So in this room, on top of one of these computers, there is this artifact here. And then we have these different buttons here that correspond to the different doors in the areas. You can see this is door 1, it's door 0. If you press door 0, it'll open it. It'll shut door 2, which is the one on the second floor, or the first floor, that we use to make our way round into the lab. Again, door 1. So we're going to start with door 3. Doesn't look like we can do much here at first, but if you notice there is a second floor we can go down to. And if we head into the western vent first, you'll see there is an artifact for us in this vent. But then if we head into the eastern vent, there's some more exploring we can do. There always seems to be enemies in this room as well. I think we got quite lucky. But there are some buttons here we can press to open the door back to where we came from. And again, this button just does the same thing. And you can see that this is a sample of the monolith we saw in Stone Tree. On the southern side of the room, there is an artifact hidden just here. There's room here, but it is just a clown closet, but there is a weapon chest in here. I think last time there was a red weapon chest in there, so I think that might be a bit of a random spawn. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. And there is a door this side, but I haven't found any way to open it. Again, this is just that data entry there. There doesn't seem to be anything that we can do with it. But if I remember correctly, there is a terminal. Has some information on it. Bear me 2 seconds and I'll see if I can find this terminal, because I can't exactly remember where it is. So yeah, sorry guys, I did think there was a terminal in this room, but I think I'm getting confused and just thinking of the terminal that is in the Stone Tree area that talks about the sample being moved to this lab. As far as I'm aware, there isn't really anything else we can do with it. So again, if you know of anything that you can do with this strange monolith, do take it. do let me know down in the comments below, and then that way I can include it as part of this guide. But for now, we're just going to be heading back into the control room. Being careful of those enemies. Get one of these sort of cube head enemies. Come down here. It's all like these test beds. Strange images on the computer here, along with an artifact. And I always imagine this is to do with either the psychic conduits or the sort of the control sort of helmet things that I have on some of these enemies that are similar to the ones that the Conflux use. Or it might even be to do with the program, I can't remember what it's called, that Crow is part of. I'm not entirely sure. So again, let me know in the comments if you know more about this area. Heading back into the control room again. And this time we're going to open door 5. Which is back where the test lab was, the science lab. Looks like the enemies are taking damage from the radiation anomaly there. We should be pretty safe because of our radiation suit. It will damage our shield though. And as we come in on the right, there is another artifact, along with this very important item here. And we've collected a device known as the Dream Reader. And this is to do with some bodies that are in capsules all around the map that you might have seen through our sort of goggles that we've got, but I haven't made a note of them yet. I haven't mentioned them at all or said anything about them. And yeah, if you're wondering what you need to do with them, you do need this Dream Reader item to interact with them. And here we've got some information talking about these sleeper type entities. You can see they've got like almost psychic abilities. Very, very cool. And there should be another artifact in this room. So we've got some strange bodies here in these containers. Looks like one of these sort of psychic entities. Another one of these psychic entities we've seen. Some sort of slime person. And these last two are empty. Oh, this might be the red chest that I thought of. Got quite lucky there. I did get a phantom rifle. And I think we may as well make use of it, because again, it's a weapon we haven't seen much of. And now if we head back to the control room like normal. And that is all the doors that we can open. I'm just going to open our way back to the exit. And as far as I'm aware, that is everything that you can do in that facility along with this tunnel complex. But again, let me know down in the comments below if there's anything you know about those areas, and then that way I can include it as part of the guide. You see all the enemies have spawned in again. They seem to spawn in every time you enter the area. Thankfully with our phantom rifle we can take them out without any real difficulty. And looking at how long this episode has been, I think here's a pretty good place to wrap it up. I didn't get quite as much done this episode as I'd hoped to, but we did have quite a lot of running around, which is why the start of the episode was a bit slower than they normally are. But don't worry, next episode we should get quite a lot done. And like I said, the areas we're going to be heading into are very, very difficult. Do let me know down in the comments below if you have any questions as to anything we've covered this episode, and I'll try and help you down there best I can. And also let me know if there's anything you think I've missed, and then that way I can include it as part of this guide. But overall, I do hope that you have enjoyed this episode, been enjoying the series, and also been finding this guide useful. If you have been enjoying the series and also been finding this guide useful, make sure to like and subscribe for more, and then that way you won't miss out on the rest of the guide. But thanks again for watching. I always appreciate having you guys here, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.